Welcome back to the Sports Perspective TV viewers and subscribers. As always, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate you taking the time out to watch the video and interact with the videos as well. Both your time and your interaction is very much appreciated. So in this video, another T20 series is up on us between the West Indies and South Africa. So we're going to be taking a look at both teams, looking at the squads that were named and highlighting a few things that I've noticed about the squads, few strengths and changes that the squads have made as well, right? So just stick around to the end of the video while we discuss while we preview the series and analyze the squads that were named. But before I do so, just take a quick second, YouTube formalities, right? Just take a quick second to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. Really important, and it's really simple. You liking the video tells YouTube that you appreciate the content that's been produced and allows YouTube to push the content out to more viewers and subscribers like yourself, right? So I'm going to be starting with the South African squad, right? So the squad that was named by South Africa is definitely a weakened squad compared to the squad that took part in the T20 World Cup. The squad that went to the T20 World Cup finals, and quite honestly, they could have or they should have won that match against India, but like I say, shoulda, woulda, coulda. They did not win. They lost. India won. So, but it was a very strong team, right? But this squad that has been named by them now is weakened. So the South African squad is as follows, right? So it's Eden Markram, Otniel Bartman, DeAndre Berger, Donovan Ferreira, Bian Fortin, Reza Hendricks, Patrick Kruger, Koina Makap. I can't pronounce his name, but yeah, Koina Makaka, Wian Mulder, Longi Ngidi, Ryan Rickleton, Jason Smith, Tristan Stubbs, Rossi van der Dussen, and Lizard Williams, right? So, as you can tell, there are quite a few key players missing from there. So there's no Klaasen, there's no David Miller, there's no Rabada, there's no Shamsi, there's no Maharaj, right? So all of whom, there's no Quinton de Kock either, right? All of whom played are big name players for South Africa, and they played important roles in the T20 World Cup, right? So a much weakened South African team, but nevertheless, even though their team is weaker, there's still a lot of quality in their team, right? So there's still a Eden Markram, there's still a Tristan Stubbs from a batting standpoint, right? There's still a Reza Hendricks, who for some reason he tends to score runs against us, right? So batting wise, there's still a Rossi van der Dussen as well. On his day he can be very dangerous. So we should definitely not take the South African team lightly. With the CPL coming up, I do think the CPL has something to do with the reason why a lot of the top names South African players aren't taking part in this series. Quite a few of them will be taking part in the CPL, which starts just a few days after the series ends. So the players are human, so I'm assuming that they are just taking this time to rest, and recover before the start of the CPL. That's what I'm thinking. So Klaasen, he will be in the CPL. David Miller will also be in the CPL. De Kock will also be in the CPL. Maharaj, Tristan Stubbs will be in the CPL, even though he's in this team, right? So not sure. And Rabada just finished the test series, so they probably just giving their players a rest, right? But nevertheless, it will be an interesting series for us. Coming into it, I think West Indies are definitely favorites on paper, right? Considering the fact that only 3 of our players from the T20 World Cup squad are missing from this squad, right? Who are Andre Russell, Alzarri Joseph, and Brandon King. Russell, of course, big name, maybe the biggest name among both teams, right? But other than that, the squad is there's a lot of continuity in our squad, and I think that will give the West Indies the upper hand on paper. But the match isn't played on paper, so they definitely have to go out there and perform on the day. But I do think the West Indies also, even though they lost to South Africa in the World Cup, and they were quite disappointed because they are of the belief that they should win. If you remember the series prior to the World Cup, that warm-up series, the West Indies won that series quite convincingly, a 3-0 victory. So they'll have a lot of confidence coming into this series as well based on that, right? Now, as far as the West Indies team goes, right? If you look at it, they're as I would say when any West Indies team is named, most of the time, right? If we look at strengths and weaknesses, we'll always conclude that the batting depth is a strength of the team, and the bowling is a weakness, right? Contrary to that belief, though, in the World Cup, we saw that it was really the bowling that carried the team, right? The batting didn't perform up to expectations. In most of the matches, there were a few matches where the batting showed up, but in most of the matches, it was really our bowling that led us, right? So going into this series again, will most people are of a similar belief that the bowling is a bit weak, especially with no Alzarri Joseph and Andre Russell, right? But the players that have replaced them, Shamar Joseph, young, exciting, fast bowler, right? So you can say it's a like for like swap with Shamar and Alzarri. Russell, there is no one that can replace Russell, though. And what he brings to the team on his day, right? So there's a bit of weakness there, but the spinners are there, who were very, very crucial, very important for us in the World Cup, so they are still in the team. Akil Hussain, Rastan Chase, Agudakesh Moti, and I do expect them to take part in all of the matches and hopefully do well. There's also a Fabian Allen, right? So bowling wise, it might look weak, but remember, this is the same bowling attack that did well in the World Cup, right? And also, it's the same bowling attack as well that almost restricted South Africa to less than, I think it was we scored 130 and they ended up needing 120 something. And it was a very tight game. So there hasn't really been a lot of changes to the bowling attack. So yes, even though on paper we can say, oh yes, it's weak, they have proven themselves, especially in recent times. So I won't say the bowling is extremely weak. It's weakened with no Alzarri and Russell, but there's still quality in there, and there's still a lot of ability in there, right? A lot of potential. The batting, on the other hand, I said most would argue that it's the strength, and this in this series is no different, right? Would like to say, however, that the batsmen definitely need to carry their batting, to step up and do a lot better than they did in the World Cup. The matches being played in Trinidad might in all being played in the same location. Let's see how familiar they are able to get with the pitch, and what the pitch does, if the pitch will offer any assistance to the bowlers, or if batsmen will strive on this pitch, right? Will thrive on the pitch, right? But again, if you're just talking about names, a Nicholas Pooran, a Ravman Powell, a Shimron Hetmyer, a Sherfin Rutherford, a Shea Hope, all of these players, are top quality T20 players in their own right, and we do expect them to do well, right? So, and I'm going to I'll just a quick thing I'll say. So the comment of the day, right? The comment of the day in this video, it comes from Colin Goodrich. Colin Goodrich, right? And he says, you should comment on the West Indies T20 captain who failed to contribute in the last T20 World Cup. Shimron Hetmyer should replace the captain. He is better. He is better batsman on any given day. Right. So Colin, I did respond to you in the comment section, but what I would say to you is this, right? Yes, Ravman Powell, he definitely needs to perform better, right? There's no doubt about that. You know, you can't go around that. You know, his performance in the World Cup was not up to par, you know, up to expectations. You know, we expect him, we know he can do better, and we expect him to do better, right? So I do agree with you that his performance should definitely come under some scrutiny, and it will definitely be scrutinized. And to be honest, his performance in the World Cup was scrutinized by a lot, by myself and a lot of other people, right? Now, as far as you saying Hetmyer should replace him in the team, just remember that when any team is named, you know, whoever is named the captain is the captain, right? And you won't see a team go out there playing without the captain. So as much as his performances have not been up to par, you know, if he is named the captain, then that means that there's no way that he will be dropped from the team, at least for this series. If he doesn't perform in this series, then maybe the selectors and the coaching staff will reevaluate and then possibly change the captaincy. I give it to somebody else. But as far as this series goes, you won't be seeing Ravman Powell drop from the team, right? And really and truly, the team under his captaincy, again, like I said, he might not be performing the best with the bat, or as consistent as we'd like. Because to be honest, sometimes he does score runs, right? Or score a bit of runs here and there, right? But under his captaincy, you know, the team, there has been improvement in the team. The team has improved in ranking, right? I think they are now ranked number 4 in the world, you know, coming from number 8, right? So the team has seen improvement under Ravman Powell's captaincy. So we must give him credit for that as well, and not just criticize his batting performance, which, like I said, needs to improve. But we also have to give him credit where it's due also, right? So that's what I would say to that. But yeah, so thank you for that's all I have for you in this video, viewers and subscribers. You know, definitely share your thoughts in the comment section, you know, as to what you think about the teams and how you think they'll do. And, you know, as always, thank you for tuning in. Do remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comment section as well. And maybe your comment will be the comment of the day in the next video. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.